Hello and welcome to another episode. Put me in coach on episode 78. Again, Diamondbacks versus the Cardinals, game one. Lineup of the day: Pavin Smith playing first base, Adrian Del Castro playing catcher, Loris Grow Jr. playing DH, Tommy Troy playing left field, Tim Tawa at center field and stuff. And then and then later on, Vargas came in to pitch hit for Peyton Smith for him to come in bottom of the eighth to play first base and stuff. And that's pretty much it and stuff. Looking at the numbers, to be honest enough, there's only three people who did not get on base, and that is Perdomo, Smith, and Loris Grow Jr. of just not getting a base hit. There's probably some ways enough. I think Loris Grow Jr. is 0 for 2 because I think he got walked, and also I think he got hit by pitch as well. So that's why he's a little weird off with Pavin Smith and Perdomo, where enough of they're just grounding off or getting outs or anything like that. But the rest enough. Marte went 2 for 3, pretty good for him. Carroll went 2 for 4, pretty good. And I think the rest got like one hit and stuff. It's pretty solid, overall and stuff, but I'm feeling like it's just not enough in some ways enough. Like, it looks good on paper, but I don't know. I just sometimes enough of it's like 50-50 of that chance enough to win a game or not. So, who knows enough of it. Pitching wise enough, Morel Kelly is the starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks today. He went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, struck out 2, walked 3, gave up 3 runs. So, yeah, I really do not know what's going on with the pitching rotation in some ways enough. It just feels like they're just cold right now and stuff. I want to see, Gallen and Kelly to, kind of step up to the plate a little bit and, perform a lot better and stuff. I think he struggled in the beginning, and I think he ended pretty strong overall and stuff, but just giving up 3 runs is just not really good. Like, some ways, yeah, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just so weird how that is and stuff. Cardinals starting pitcher today is Andrew Paltini. I think that's how you say it. Palini or something. I don't know. He went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, struck out 2, walked none, and gave only 1 run. So I think this was a great matchup with Kelly and stuff. I think they both have enough with the same level in a way and stuff. But I just think enough of not giving up 3 runs is better than 1 and stuff. And that's what the Cardinals did more and stuff, because the offense is just cold sometimes and stuff, and it's just they can't get a rhythm to get back into the game. So I think that's a little bit difficult for the Diamondbacks. And then bullpen for the Diamondbacks, Taylor Clark and Jonathan Lizga, and that's pretty much it by far and stuff. And they did good. Bullpen's always gonna be good and stuff. Hold up on this and stuff. Let me do a little bit of editing here and stuff because I forgot to take everything out. Let me just clean this up here. So what I did is right now enough. I kind of cleaned it just a little bit, so not talking about every single scoring overall and stuff, because I just thinking like ground outs and sac flies just annoying to talk about. Those are the ones that I basically took out, but these are the real things I want to talk about. It's not really a whole lot, but because there's not really a lot of scoring, so these are the important one I want to talk about and stuff. Alec Burleson hit a RBI single to make 1-0 in bottom of the third. Nathan Church hit a RBI single to make it 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth. And then Tommy Troy hit a solo home run to make it 2-3, top of the seventh, and that is the final score against the Diamondbacks. They lost again 2-3. That is the final score, and our record is back to 39, 2 on 500. I don't know how they get to this point. The other crazy thing is when I was talking to my dad, because again, I don't know this team very well because there's new faces, new names and stuff. I've heard a little bit here and there and stuff, just from just other fans and stuff, from just talking baseball or just Jumbo Media or just like in generally of those people. Talk about baseball, just other teams and other players and stuff. Like I've heard some of the like big names like Lars Nootbaar and stuff, but just like not a whole lot and stuff. And also, like yeah, I know Alec Burleson, but like in a way of enough, I have a hard time saying his name because his last name is a little bit weird overall and stuff. So that's like another thing. Like I know Mason Wynn and stuff. Like I heard it from him before and stuff. Jordan Walker is probably a huge player on that team as well, especially one of their best hitter on their team and stuff. He didn't do so well today and stuff. Honestly enough, that's pretty good. Somebody's been so dominant on offense and maybe a little bit on defense too, but somehow some way enough he didn't do so well and stuff. And then I realized enough of when I was telling my dad about this, or enough of like I noticed enough there was a guy with the last name Church, and crazy enough I didn't even know his first name at all and stuff. Like obviously I do know now and stuff, but before I didn't and stuff. And the crazy thing is I keep getting a little bit confused with the Nationals because the Nationals are very similar, like very close, like color wise with red and stuff. And then also like I just remember like enough of I know like the pitcher Miles Mercallis or something. Is that his name? I don't know. The guy with the mustache used to be on the Cardinals before he was part of the starting rotation with Sonny Gray and all those typical things and stuff. Any of those guys are not even on the team anymore, but I just remember he was pretty decent pitcher for the Cardinals and stuff. And right now he's now on the Nationals, currently what I know. And honestly enough, I don't even remember him facing the Diamondbacks. And who knows enough of that he's just not in the rotation we face him and stuff, or he's probably injured and stuff. And again, I don't know, or he might enough of go to like a different team, or he's GFA. Honestly, I have no idea. But probably the last time I probably saw that guy, he was in a Nationals uniform. That's currently what I know and stuff. So it's just a little bit weird enough of like him going to the Cardinals to the Nationals and stuff, and it just feels a little weird. And then I realized enough of is Church on the Nationals as well and stuff. So I was just like, okay, like I don't know what it is, and I think I'm getting a little confused with Dylan Cruz and stuff because he's also an outfielder. Same thing with Church because I know Church is an outfielder as well. And because there was a time back then, like there was a short video on Jumbo Media, channels and stuff. Basically of enough of there was a play where when O'Brien was pitching because I know he's the closer for the Cardinals and stuff, and he did pitch today. And then I realized enough of he almost gave up like the walk-off win of a home run and stuff in the game back then and stuff, and then Church is the one caught the ball at the very end, at the wall to save and actually won the game and stuff. So really huge. And to me enough of just like, okay, church. Like I heard that name before and stuff. And then I was really like realized enough of like, is he on the Cardinals or is he on the Nationals? Unfortunately enough, he is on the Cardinals and stuff. And the crazy thing is, I just guessed his first name, and I said Nate and stuff. Honestly enough, I didn't. I was just guessing. Okay, I was totally guessing his first name, and somehow enough, when I was watching the Diamondbacks on TV at a sports grill restaurant with my dad today after ping pong and stuff. When Church came up to the plate, I saw his name and just like, wow, I'm surprised enough if I got it right. His name is Nathan Church. Like how I was blown away from that. That was just a guess to me. No, I never knew that. That's somehow enough of like I'm not fooling around or anything. Like I'm being serious here. I just like that's what I thought. Like it sounds right. Like Nathan Church. Like that sounds right and stuff. Like I just didn't know his first name right away and stuff, and I just pull a guess and say Nate and stuff, and then fortunately enough, that's actually his name and stuff. So I was more surprised and like, good for me of just guessing the right name. Just bizarre in a way and stuff. And again, I'm not messing around with this. Like I am dead serious of being real enough of that was just a guess. I did not know it at all and stuff, and I was just gave a honest guess, and I thought enough of Nate, and somehow enough I got it right. How crazy is that? But anyways, enough. Progress on the Diamondbacks enough. Just the offense. We can't really we need to score more than the opponents are right now and stuff, because we can't lose by 1 point and then lose the game and stuff. We need to get more and stuff. This offense has just been hot and cold, and they're cold right now. So I don't know what's going on with the Diamondbacks overall and stuff. Like I could absolutely say enough the Cardinals are doing better. I totally understand that. They have good offense and defense and stuff. It's just every single time I see Perdomo and stuff at the plate and stuff, he went 0 for 3, okay? He keeps hitting at second base, right to the player. How do you hit away from him? Like, come on, hit over him, put to the side, make him work and stuff. Nope, just right away, just to him, easy for him, just pick it up, throw it to first, get him out, super easy and stuff. Yeah, Mason win a little bit. There's times enough of you made him a little bit moved here and there, but made it a little bit easy enough to get there, get a great throw to first and stuff, and stop making it easy for the opponents, okay? Like make it hard for them, It's just like those are the typical things enough of just you're not going to win games. You're not going to do good for yourself. And also it's not going to help the team and stuff. So you got to understand from those aspects from offense and stuff. They just need to get better overall. And to me enough, I don't know what's going on with the offense. I don't know what the batting coach is doing. I don't know what's going on with this team. Because to me, nothing is clicking, and just they're not performing the way they used to be and stuff. This is a really good team, and they're really not showing it. And they are showing they are a 500 average team, and to me, that is not looking good. A 500 team is not going to lead you to the World Series, and that is being honest of myself. And I hate by saying that and stuff, but it's the truth. And if we were not in this range enough to be 39 and stuff, and if we were higher with average of wins and stuff, I can see myself more, comfortable in a way enough of like, okay, like we got something here and stuff. But no, because we keep losing games and stuff. We can't keep losing games. Like, I understand we keep, winning series and stuff. We just lost the series against the Twins and stuff. Yeah, just I don't know what is going on with this team and stuff. And same thing with pitching. Kelly, I don't know what's going on and stuff. I wish the Diamondbacks can actually literally get some runs a lot early than before and stuff, and then just taking some runs later on in the game and then try to have a comeback. Just sometimes enough that works, sometimes it doesn't. But I just like to have them to have a little bit more competing in the game, where enough of just like they don't got nothing in the beginning and then they got a little bit in the end and then still lose the game, and that's just not the way you want to do. It's not the way. And to me, enough of with Lavello keep changing catchers and stuff. I don't know why Adrian DeCastro is catching and not Gabe Marino and stuff. Just like you had Gabe Marino yesterday, and then now you still don't have him today. It's just I really do not know what Lavello is doing to this team and stuff. Pitching is just not looking good. The offense is not looking good. This team is just not looking good in any ways and stuff, and they're just not getting better and better and stuff. Yeah, they got some wins here and there and stuff, but to me, that's not enough. If you looking in a World Series aspect enough to win the World Series, this is not gonna cut it in some ways and stuff. And it's bummer to watch them lose, where now if I want them to win, I want them to be more compete, more challenged in a way, where enough of let's get better and stuff. And I don't know, I'm afraid for Lavello because he might get fired and stuff. I have no idea in enough, because to me, if he's not doing so well and if he gets fired and stuff, the bench coach is going to take over and stuff. And I don't know, I want that and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, Lavello has been the manager for a good 10, 11 years and stuff, and you only made the playoffs twice in those years and stuff. And it's just, to me, like, this is not good in some ways enough. Like, we got so close to the playoffs 2 years ago and stuff, and then fortunately enough for the Mets and the Braves having a doubleheader game in Georgia in Truist Park and stuff, and then not having us to get into the playoffs because the Braves realized enough of. Actually, the Mets realized enough of they want to win the first game, and they did, and stuff, and then they made it a lot easier for the Braves to literally win the second game, so the Diamondbacks won't go in the playoffs and stuff. So that's that and stuff, and then we were 3 off of games to literally get to the playoffs, and we had no chance to do it. And so, yeah, we got close, but is it enough to get to the playoffs? No, it's not. And we're in the same category where enough we were in from last year and stuff. They can pull it off if they could and stuff. It could absolutely happen. I'll be more of a surprise if they can make it to the playoffs, make it in a wild card and spot and stuff. Like, yeah, that would be great of enough if they make it to the playoffs and stuff. But here's the other thing I'm so afraid of, where enough of in the playoffs, where enough of like we can't dilly-dally, where enough of it's going to be easy, or let's don't play playful of enough to just like, hey, like we're in the playoffs, and okay, this is the playoffs. okay, this is not regular season. So you got to think about differently than what is in the regular season and what's in the playoffs and stuff. Because playoffs feels more serious, and where enough of the regular season, you can, you know, don't go crazy and be more serious in the regular season and stuff. Like, I want both in some ways, in a way. That's just my opinion, and this is how I feel enough. If I want to show this team to be so dominated and be in that World Series conversation in a way, be dominant in the regular season, be dominant in the playoffs, because if you be dominated, you can be any team, you can get to the World Series, you can win the World Series if you show dominated and stuff. Because, if you lose in the playoffs, then you're done, and that's it and stuff. You have to win games in the playoffs and stuff. And yeah, there might be of enough of a strange enough of what we did in 2023, getting lucky enough to get into the playoffs and beating the Brewers and the Dodgers and the Phillies, just get to the World Series and stuff. Fortunately enough, we did get to the World Series. Did we win to the World Series? No, because those are the typical things enough of they probably did had a chance to get winning the World Series, but fortunately enough they didn't. So where of that in a way and stuff, it's just basically of enough of let's be dominated at this time, at this level, where enough of we can actually face other teams in the playoffs and stuff and show what we can do and stuff. We cannot be just, be lucky and, sneak in the playoffs enough. I don't want that, Maybe sometimes that will work, but it's just like, to me, of enough of I want to have the Diamondbacks to be scary and stuff, and thinking about enough of the other teams like the Braves and the Dodgers and the Phillies, enough of just like, we gotta face the Diamondbacks. Man, I don't want to face them. That's what I want and stuff. Where enough people think enough of like, we're playing the Diamondbacks, easy and stuff. I don't want that, because I want my team to be confident. I want this team to go out there, work hard, do their best, give all of they got to literally win games here and there and stuff, to where enough of this matters to win games so we can keep going, go all the way to the World Series, and also win the World Series. Those are the things you got to really think about of enough to in the playoffs, because you got to win it all. You got to win all games to till it's over and stuff. That's what the Knicks did. They won 5 games against the Spurs, and fortunately enough, they held high, and they did, and they finished it strong. Like, that's what you got to do every single time and stuff, And if you want to be a championship, you got to show as a championship and stuff. And I think in any sport like that, in the finals, you got to show that and stuff. And doesn't matter enough of who you're face against, have enough of a very well good team or anything and stuff, you still got to go out there and just dominate and show your best, And to me, of enough, like, in a way, yes, I could see enough this team can get the playoffs and slightly get to the wild card and stuff, and I will be more excited for that and be more excited for the playoffs. But again, I'm also in that nervous aspect enough of like for the team, where enough of just like, yeah, but who are we facing in the playoffs, and can we actually win, and that's where enough of I'm a little nervous, where enough if we're so dominated like the Braves and stuff, then I have no worried and stuff, because to me of enough, if I have no worried and stuff, then we can actually really do more dominate than the other teams and stuff. And to me enough, like having that confidence, I would like the better than we're enough of I'm so nervous and stuff. And maybe nervous is a good thing and stuff. Who knows? Because like it's just like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just like I don't want that, because again, I was so nervous in the World Series and stuff, and it's just like we just didn't have it, we didn't and stuff. And I want this team to be more competitive and more challenging and more better in a way, and this team is just not showing it at all. So I don't know what Velo's doing. I don't know what the staffs and the coaches is doing. I don't know what the players are thinking every single day and stuff, because I don't know and stuff. And I would love to take over and literally talk to each person and stuff. I'm seeing Kelly with this attitude by throwing his gum to the side and stuff. Like, what the heck is this and stuff? Telling my dad about this, and, like, why is he throwing gum? Why is he wasting gum, by the way, and stuff? I'm fine you chewing gum, but, like, how about you respectfully of enough to actually throw gum in the regular trash and then just not on the grass, on the field and stuff. And like, okay, this is not our field. This is Busch Stadium, by the way, and stuff. You're way, way far away from home and stuff. I don't care what you do in Chase Field or anything, but it's just respect to other people and respect the stadium by also and stuff. And having this attitude, enough of you being pissed because you're not performing well, perform great, bro. Like, because you're not doing what you're trying to think enough to doing it and stuff. And it's probably enough of good props enough for the Cardinals to hit off of you, because you're not doing the way enough of you've been practicing or you're working on and stuff, and it's just nothing showing it. And the Cardinals offense just did really good today and stuff. So it's just, you gotta just think about everything and stuff. I'm talking about in a coach aspect. This is why enough of put me in coach, because coach to me right now, I'm a coach here right now. Like, I want to see this team be so dominated and stuff, and this is the reason why I'm having this podcast, for a reason and stuff, because I want to show enough of what is really wrong with this team, and this team is just not clicking the right way and stuff, and we just cannot have this look of what we're doing and stuff, because we can be dominated, and I have seen this team be dominated, and it's just like, it's just so annoying to beat this 500 average team and stuff. We can't be average, people. We gotta be good. We gotta be great. We gotta be dominated. I'm gonna keep saying that. Dominated, dude. Be dominated. Win some games. All games. Do the best you can. Everything. Like, losing is just not fun to watch. Whatever. It's not my team, and generally of enough, it's Ravello's team, and he needs to work it out with everybody. Because trust me, your job is going to take over by two people and stuff, and if one of them is a 100% enough, somebody's gonna take over, and that's the bench coach. He will absolutely take over, and you're gonna lose your job. And the second person, he might slightly have a chance in some ways enough if I show my resume of World Series winners and runner-ups and stuff. Anyone can tell me 1944? No? Okay, well, it's the St. Louis Cardinals beating the St. Louis Browns. And if you don't know about that enough for the St. Louis Browns, they're the same organization as the Baltimore Orioles. Giving you some baseball knowledge. Okay, so currently of knowing from that and stuff, I know baseball, and I know how to perform a team to be in a championship team and stuff, because I'm going to put all the sweat and hard work on this team to get to the World Series. I don't care how much time I can do it and stuff, I can get to there. And what percentage enough if I can get his taking over Lavello's job? It's literally 1%. 1%. And you know who doesn't want that? Rillavello, because that's his job. And I'm feeling enough of a 27 years old man coming over and telling him about, I'm taking your job. Yeah, he's not going to enjoy hearing that. Watch out, Ravello, because I can easily take over. And I mean taking everything. Diamondbacks is my team. Watch out for 200 Batman, people, because I'm coming. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. Hate seeing the Diamondbacks losing every single time. We gotta get better. This is a 4-game series. Hopefully we win the series, lose the series, or take the split. To me, in my opinion, I don't want to lose another series. I don't want it. So win it or split it. It's one of those. And what I prefer, winning it. If they can. And right now, in Game 1, they're not showing that and stuff. So hopefully they show it in Game 2 because they need to. And Rodriguez is the only pitcher is honestly enough doing good and stuff. So hopefully enough we do better when Rodriguez is pitching. And to me, enough of that's so weird. No. Sorry, I'm not done yet. Sorry. You cannot have this way of enough of one pitcher is doing good, okay? Be dominated at any pitcher who's coming to the mound, okay? If it's Gallen, Kelly, Nelson, Garcia or Rodriguez and Orsoka or any of the people in the bullpen and stuff, no. Offense needs to realize enough of who cares who's on our side and who's pitching and stuff, okay? That's their job to absolutely go out there and dominate and stuff. Your job is to get on base, get some runs, and help your pitcher so they don't get so much runs. And if they do, well, the offense needs to keep going as well. We're enough of let's win this game with more runs than the other opponent teams. Okay? You cannot have enough of Gallen gave up a lot of runs. Okay, let's get back into this game. Kelly gave a lot of runs away. Okay, let's get back in the game. And then Rodriguez enough of with no runs and stuff, and especially enough you get 2 or 3 and stuff, still get the win and stuff. Yeah, that's good, but it's just the thing is enough of you cannot just expect enough to have all pitchers to be so dominated and stuff, because Rodriguez could absolutely give up 3 or more runs and stuff, and we can still lose the game if the offense is, as crazy as cold than they are right now and stuff. You cannot have that way where enough of one pitcher can do good because they're not giving so much runs, where enough of the offense needs to help as well. Every team needs to help each other in a way enough. I get about enough of this is pitcher is coming in and pitching today for us. Okay, that's great to notice of that, but your job is more focused on what you have to do to the team and basically help the team out and stuff. And as a batter, the only thing you gotta worry about is get on base, get some runs, and help the team to win the game and stuff. The pitching's job is to get outs and strikeouts and getting less runs than what we have to give up to the opponent teams, okay? We want to score on the opponent teams, less scoring on the opponent teams. Let's win these games and stuff. That's all you have to worry about so much in a way where enough of don't think about other people enough of Rodriguez is coming up and I think we're going to do good and stuff. You got to think about that to all pitchers in a way enough. Think enough of for Gallen and Kelly and the rest. We're enough of we got to be more dominated. Even enough of they're giving so much runs away, we still need to do good in offense as well. And if the pitching is not doing so well, and if the offense is not doing well, then we're not going to win games. We're enough of if everything clicks, we can win games, we can do good, and we got to show that more often and stuff. And they're just not, again, just not doing that at all. And why is the reason why we're at 39-39? Because they are hot and cold team. They just keep winning, they keep losing, and I don't want to see that, and I want to win it all. Give your 100% in everything. You don't have to work so hard you're gonna lose a limb or whatever. No. Be comfortable, be ready, it's just those typical things. I literally want to work in every player on the team. We're enough to give them confidence and hard work. We're enough of, get to where your spot is and actually do the best you can and stuff, I'm not asking enough of just work your butt off. Yeah, true. Working your butt off is absolutely literally going to change the game, in a way and stuff. I have to do the same thing in ping pong and stuff, Before of enough, my ping pong coach was telling me enough of I'm not bouncing. Okay? I'm not bouncing when I'm relaxing by hitting and stuff. And clearly of enough, when I'm now bouncing around every time sets enough of I'm ready for the next hit and stuff, it clears it enough. It's a lot better. It's a lot better in a way and stuff. And trust me enough, I feel like I can walk or run crazy when I'm balanced and can get anywhere and doing a great stroke and all its typical things and getting there and doing the best you can and stop putting the hard sweat of enough. If I can do, you can do it. Okay, I understand baseball is different than ping pong and stuff, but you gotta work for it and stuff. And I thinking working more and showing you can care and do the best you can and stuff, that's gonna show more and stuff, and you can do a lot better with that confidence and that attitude in a way where enough of if you just don't care, you're not gonna perform well. And that's just my opinion, and that's just what. Because nobody doesn't want to have a bad attitude. Have a better attitude, have a good attitude, have a positive attitude where enough of that's what we need and stuff to everybody. Because the people right now is seeing an attitude is Kelly and Gallen, and they're not performing well. Well, 200 Batman's going to yell at your face where enough, please care. Please. Hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.